good team win. Thought that was important that we get started fast, and I thought we did that. We talked a lot about consistency this week and being consistent, and I thought offense really came out and played well. Was happy to get Matt Corral some quality snaps with the ones in there and not just handing the ball off, but running the offense. So I thought that was good. You saw his ability to pull the ball and run, also make some decisions in the RPO game. So I thought that was really good. I thought our defense, flew around. We were kind of maybe a bend but don't break in the first half, but proud of them for getting the turnover and the fourth down stop. But it was a good win for us. Halfway through the season, sitting at 4-2, important for us to learn and move forward and get better from this game, and again just keep striving to be consistent in every area.
Matt, did the receivers lose a little confidence after the LSU game, and did this restore it, if so?
I don't think they lost confidence. I think they were disappointed, just like everybody. Myself, our fans, everybody was disappointed in the way we played, and so I thought they had a good week of practice and came out and they executed. Anytime we've had over the last few years, we've had several really good offensive performances, but to be able to break a school record, I think that just goes to show you where their focus was and their work during the week.
What did you think of how your secondary played, and particularly the two guys that converted this week?
Talked a lot about that in the locker room, just the unselfishness of Tylen Knight and Armani going from offense to defense. They end up having to play a bunch of snaps. C.J. Miller went out pretty early with an ankle injury. I don't know the extent of it yet, but we'll find out more tomorrow. He was limping a little bit, but not on crutches. So, but just proud of those guys for going in there and being unselfish. And I think Armani got a sack. Looked like Tylen was in on a couple of big plays. So I think they'll get some experience from that, and hopefully moving forward they'll be better because we're going to need them. I don't believe he has a serious injury, but I will double check.
I know ideally it's not how you want to be, but bend but don't break. Is that kind of maybe an MO for the defense moving forward from a mentality standpoint?
Well, I think we're a plus in the turnover category today, so that's huge. And then third downs, I just want to make sure we take advantage of that. We had had a chance to get off the field on third down once, and then we gave up the touchdown in the first half. But I do like the way they bowed their neck in the red zone, and then we were able to get a few turnovers. So that was good.
Considering the results in your guys' first two conference games, what does beating someone by this much do as you're moving into some winnable or ones against not top five teams?
Yeah, no, I mean, the goal is to go 1-0 each week, and that's what we'll do. We'll come here tomorrow. We'll watch the tape. We'll take, we'll move forward, but we'll try to go 1-0 next week. So we're 4-2 now. So we go on the road in the SEC, and we got to go play well in Little Rock, and that'll be our focus, and try to get to 5-2.
Of course, when you look at Armani and Tylen, they both had experience at the defensive back position. When you look at Tylen, he had it in high school, and Armani played last year. But were there any other factors that played into the decision to move them to DB, and how did your coaching staff go about, informing them?
No, so we brought them in on last Sunday, and we made that decision just with because of the depth and because of their experience. We knew that Armani's a really sharp guy, so he had a lot of carryover. So he was going to remember it, and he could be a quarterback back there at the safety position. And then Tylen was very dynamic at that position in high school, so it gave us some confidence. Again, Tylen hasn't done it before, so his package is a little bit limited, but hopefully we can grow. I was very pleased, especially when we slowed it down. I think we had a 3 and out in there, but his first 2 drives with the 1 O line and the 1 receivers, he was really good. Saw a couple third down conversions where he had to move in the pocket and get the ball out to Elijah, and he converted 2 third downs. So I thought it was really positive. I really liked the RPO fade ball he threw to DK. That was on a run. Same thing, he threw a touchdown to Elijah Moore. That was also on a run. So you see the decision making. I really like that, and then the ability for him to be able to pull the ball down and pull it on a we ran a little counter play, and they brought edge pressure, and he pulled it and went ahead and took it to the house. That kind of shocked me. I knew he was tough, but you saw him after he took a hard hit one time bounce up. I think he is dynamic and can bring something to the table for sure. But I was really pleased with his performance.
So today's game was the only other game besides Kent State that y'all held your opponent scoreless in the first quarter. How important do you think it is to set the tone early with defense, and how does that affect the rest of the game for you?
No, I'm happy anytime we can shut anybody out in the first quarter for sure. But it's important for us to get off to a good start. We talked about that, and so I think the biggest thing is we have to be able to continue to build off that and improve. But anytime you can get off to a good start, it's a good thing.